Welcome back. Not welcome back because this is the first one ever. Welcome guys to Lovebound's YouTube channel. This is the first episode ever. And this is exciting, yet kind of nerve-wracking because I'm never on this side of the camera. So let's see how this goes. So this basically is going to be about any tips, tricks, or even topics to touch on whatever it has to do with weddings. The topic for today is going to be how to choose your wedding date. So this might not be such a big deal or even thought in depth into this. So the first point, I have many points that we can go over. The first point is your seasonal preference. If you want a summer wedding or if you want a winter wedding and have snow on the ground, that is totally something to think about. Another point that I got is meaningful dates. So meaningful dates, for an example, if you have your first ever date on January 15th, and you want to have your wedding on January 15th. That's just a meaningful date that you can totally do. And that way it makes your wedding a little bit more meaningful to both of you two. Another point is venue availability. So some people might have their venue booked before they even have a wedding date. So you kind of have to go off of what the venue has available to you guys. Another point is budget considerations. Whatever time in the year that you have your wedding, let's say you have your wedding in the winter instead of the summer, it could potentially be a little bit cheaper because it's in the winter time. Another point is guest availability. I know this it can be iffy because it's mostly about you and your fiance, but you also want to consider if you want specific people at your wedding, you want to make sure that they can come. So kind of have that in the back of your head. Another point is avoid major holidays. If you want to have it on a major holiday, that is totally cool and awesome. But if you don't want that, you want to make sure you have enough time before and maybe even after. Let's say Christmas, you want it around Christmas time, but you want to make sure that it's not the 26th of December. Maybe have it January 5th or something like that. Another point that I have is personal preference. Just consider your personal preferences, including whether you prefer a weekday or a weekend. I already touched about the weather. If you would rather have your wedding on a Friday instead of a Saturday or even a Sunday, it totally is up to you. You just gotta make sure you know what you like so that way you're not going back and forth and back and forth. Another point that I have is anniversary alignment. So if you have a special day in the past or an anniversary, the first day you met or 1 or 2 year anniversary, maybe have your wedding day on the exact day for your 5th anniversary or something like that. That's always a cute little thing to do. It could be hard considering if January 1st is the first day you met and you want it to do it 3 years down the road. It could be on a day that you really don't want to see, but you have to consider that as well. And then another point that I have is local events. Let's say there's an event outside going on right next to the venue that you're getting married at, or your reception is at, and it's going on about the same time as your wedding. Kind of consider that because it could take up parking from your guests, or it could definitely slow down traffic and make people late to your wedding. Hopefully that's not the case, but it's something big to consider because at least you want people to watch you get married, I think, right? Yeah. Another point that I have is work schedules. I hear a lot that people just take off the day. If you have your wedding on a Friday, consider maybe having your ceremony start a little later so that way people can actually come. Another point that I have is moon phases. Some people really like to set up their wedding during a phase in the moon. If it's a full moon, you want to have your wedding day on the full moon day. That's a little bit that I I don't really hear about that much, but it's definitely something to consider. Another point is symbolic numbers. Some couples choose dates with a symbolic number. Let's just say like 77 of 23. I don't know why, but that could be a symbolic number to you guys, or any added personal meaning to that specific date. And then personal milestones, it's totally up to you. You might want to kind of avoid that time frame because you don't want to be stressed when it comes to your wedding day, and just kind of have that in the back of your head. It could be stressful, so you might want to avoid those personal milestone time frames, so that way you don't obviously think about it on your wedding day and be like, oh my gosh, and whatnot. So that's basically what I have for today. And like I said, this is my first ever video for this YouTube channel. Hopefully this went better than I think. And I hope to see you guys in the next video for Lovebound Media's YouTube channel. And also hopefully I have a better name for this YouTube channel, because it's kind of long and not very catchy. But we'll see you guys in the next one.